So welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk you through what exactly you should do if you're in this current situation. And that situation is you're training loads, you're not eating a lot, and you're doing loads of cardio, and you're not losing weight. Because this has really come to mind in terms of working with a client recently, a woman who came to me. Her energy output is super high. Her food intake super low, yet she's struggling to lose weight. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I would do in this scenario and how you can fix this. So stay tuned and follow along to the end. Any questions you have throughout, feel free to drop a comment below and I'll come back to you in detail with your specific question. Now, to get into this, to give some preface, we have client exhibit A and their cardio. They're doing a lot. So they're training doing an hour's cardio 4 or 5 times a week. They're doing 15,000 steps a day. They're also doing, for example, weight training sessions 4 to 5, and have an active job. They also live in Dubai in this glamorous background and enjoying life and super happy. So there's no stress related issues here. However, there is a problem, in my opinion, from the past where perhaps when they were younger, they had eating disorders. So I think there's an issue here where they're probably under-eaten for a very long period of time. And this is something that I see an awful lot with women. And what I'm going to talk to you about on this video is how we can really try and help you to fix this problem and try and remove this skeleton in the closet that's maybe caused issues. So if you're in this situation where, for example, you're struggling in terms of not seeing progress with fat loss despite training loads, you're not eating a lot, so your energy balance, for example, in this situation, your output, so if we do an O for output, it's fucking sky high, I shouldn't swear on YouTube, and your input is in calories in, I should have probably used a plus and a minus, would have been easier than writing it. Your input is sky low. Now, this is going to mean you're in a massive energy deficit. And what you're going to do in this situation, because if you're looking to lose body fat and you're not losing body fat in this situation, and we're here where we have really high cardio, and in terms of calories coming in, this is super low, we can't really do a lot with this. So what we need to do is actually try and fix this situation. So what I would look to do initially with a client in this perspective is focus on, firstly, the food choices they're going to make and optimizing a few different things. So number one, what I would actually look at is I would probably look at their sleep, making sure your sleep is bang on. So we've been looking for 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, keeping stress down, very important. Number two, I'd focus on digestion and the food choices you're making, and making sure the foods you're choosing, there's nothing in there which is going to cause any issues in terms of intolerances you have, increasing inflammation, any types of inflammatory response, because that's going to have a very negative impact in terms of fat loss. Now, if we come back to the situation in terms of where we are with the output and the input, so you've got two options here. We can't increase the amount of cardio you're doing already, and we can't really decrease the amount of food you're eating. So this is the situation this person's in my opinion. Their metabolism essentially isn't working correctly. Now, what I would look to do with this, and I've done loads of videos on this, is in terms of pushing them into a carb cycling diet. This person wasn't already on a carb cycling diet, so this will make a big difference. So if you want to know more about carb cycling, I'll put some links below the video in terms of some of the other ones I've done. And also I've got a wonderful free guide to the free 59 fitness myths that breaks down a lot of things in terms of carb cycling and nutrition, which you can also get a free copy below this video very helpfully. So what I would do in this situation here, I would firstly look in terms of, when it comes to fixing this, I would look at their input. So we're going to move my camera out of the way so you can actually see what we're drawing here. So what we're going to do, I would suggest that you look in terms of actually increasing the amount of calories. So we're going to then look to bring calories back up, but probably only slightly. So, and what I would do here is I would bring the calories back in from carbs. So I would increase carbs, probably 20%. And what I would do is put the carbohydrates around the workouts. So when they're actually training, we'll have the biggest input in terms of, let's get this on the screen right so anyone who's watching. What I would then do is look to get the carbohydrates right make myself small in the middle, there we go. So what I would do is make sure you get the carbohydrates right, increase those up and put the carbs around the workout. That's really important. So this is when you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of performance. So I'd make sure we try and push the carbohydrates up, have more carbs around the workout, and look to incrementally add this in. And this would be a slow process. So I'd look to probably add in, maybe initially bring up the carbs, maybe a first bit of a bump, maybe 20%, see what happens and assess from there. And the idea of what we're going to really do from here is we're going to ideally try and keep like composition the same, and then start to try and get the metabolism firing. And we're going to keep the energy output in terms of like the cardio you're doing in terms of here. So we're going to keep the cardio you're doing in terms of this here, in terms of the output, nice and high, just to make sure that we've got that energy demand going on. And the plan would be to eventually taper this down. But if you, at first, stage one, you bring in the carbohydrates, so we do this first. And then what I would probably look to do, probably like the next increment of adding more calories, I would then look to add in maybe a little bit more fats. And then the fats I would then add in away from the workouts. So I'd probably put that in, for example, first thing in the morning if you're training, at lunch or later in the day, or just further away from the workout is generally going to be an optimal time for you. So in regards to the best time for reducing this output in terms of the cardio, when we probably got the calories back up, in this situation, this lady's on probably like 1,200 calories, I'd probably wait until I got her up to maybe like 1,800 calories, and then I would start to maybe knock down the cardio sessions. So for example, if this woman was doing, for example, 4 cardio sessions of an hour, we'd maybe even reduce to just 4 sessions of 45 minutes, or do 3 sessions of an hour. So we're going to knock off one hour worth of cardio a week. And I'd probably then focus on tapering it down. And this is the process you've got to go through, and it comes down to being very slow and very meticulous. But something I'd really suggest you need to think about with this is like really documenting the process of what you're doing and being very like particular. And this is where coaching and accountability comes in, because a lot of these things, if you've been on a very low carbohydrate and low calorie diet for a long period of time, it's a mind fuck, and it's difficult for you to realize that you can't go on eating 1,200 calories a day. This isn't practical for you to lose weight. You can't reduce your food down anymore, and you can't do more energy output in terms of more steps or more cardiovascular work. So the key for you is getting yourself out of this situation, getting your body to work for you again. And another big thing I would suggest is having a full blood panel done at the start of this process to see exactly where your hormones are at, where your metabolism's at, thyroid, make sure everything's all good, just make sure there's not any issues there, and then you can really optimize and fine tune, like I said here. So stage one would be to incrementally bring in a little bit more carbohydrates around the workout on training days and using a carb cycling approach. Check out my other videos on carb cycling that explain it a little bit more. And then what I would then do probably 4 to 6 weeks in, after we've gone probably up like 30-40% in terms of calories, I'd then look to start bringing down, say for example, the energy output by about 25%. So this is a very quick video just to cover a very in-depth topic. So if there's anything in specific you want to learn more about, please let me know, and drop a comment below what was your biggest take-home point from this. And the big thing that I'd actually be interested to know, if you were in this situation and you wanted to lose more body fat, what would you do? Because it's into psychology. Would you try and cut your calories more, or would you try and do more cardio? So that's my question for you. Drop it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and if you want a free copy of the 359 Fitness Myths ebook, hit the link below the video, you can get that, and I'll see you next video soon.